Then before them was I led by the dweller, watched him blend with one from above. Then from he came forth a voice saying, Great art thou, Toth, among children of men, free henceforth of the halls of Amenti, master of life among children of men. Taste not of death except as thou will it. Drink thou of life to eternity's end. Henceforth forever is life, thine for the taking. Henceforth is death at the call of thine hand. Dwell here or leave here when thy desireth. Free is Amenti to the Son of Man. S-U-N of man. Take thou up life in what form they desireth, children of the light that is grown among men. Choose thy work, for all souls must labour, never be free from the pathway of light. One step thou hast gained on the long pathway upward. Infinite now is the mountain of light. Each step that you taketh but heightens the mountain. All of thy progress but lengthens the goal. Approach ye ever the infinite wisdom. Ever before thee recedes the goal. Free are you made now of the halls of Amenti, to walk hand in hand with the lords of the world, one in one purpose, working together, bringers of light to the children of men. So what has happened is Toth, who has been a disciple of the dweller of Undul, who was taught the world's secrets and dedicated his life to attaining knowledge, was granted eternal life until he chose to die. And as we found, he tends to recycle his life cycle and body and use a reincarnation form where he can dwell amongst men to teach us and guide us forever upwards, because there seems to be a step-by-step ascension process. Like everything else in the world, there's order that we need to pass our tests and evolve and learn. So I will continue. And he's talking about he's now being led down into, and he's talking to the lords and the dweller. Then from his throne came one of the masters, taking my hand. This is interesting, my hand, this is physical, and leading me onward through all the halls of the deep hidden land. It sounds like some subterranean tunnels that are also referred to in Sumerian texts as the gateways to the land of the gods, or God quadrant of Earth. A special area put aside where men weren't allowed to go, heavily guarded, and the passageways went using volcanic tunnels or man-made tunnels. Led me he through the halls of Amenti, showing the mysteries that are known not to man. Through the dark passage downward he led me into the hall where sits the dark death. Vast as space lay the great hall before me, walled by darkness, but yet filled with light. This is the hall of the souls. And he goes on to say, before me arose a great throne of darkness, veiled on it sat a figure of night. Darker than darkness sat the great figure, dark with a darkness not of the night. Before it then paused the Master, speaking the word that brings about life, saying, O Master of darkness, guide the way from life unto life. Before thee I bring a son of the morning. Touch him not ever with the power of night. Call not his flame to the darkness of night. Know him and see him, one of our brothers, lifted from the darkness into the light. Release thou his flame from its bondage. Free let it flame through the darkness of night. Raise then the hand of the figure. Forth came a flame that grew clear and bright. Rolled back swiftly the curtain of darkness, unveiled the hall from the darkness of night. And then he goes on to describe millions of souls and how his soul gets separated and released from this bondage. Then grew in the great space before me flame after flame from the veil of the night. Uncounted millions leaped before me, some flaming forth as flowers of fire. Others there were that shed a dim radiance, glowed but faintly from out of the night. Some there were that faded swiftly, others that grew from a small spark of light, each surrounded by its dim veil of darkness, yet flaming within light that could never be quenched. Coming and going like fireflies in springtime, filled they the space with light and with life. This is a huge chamber filled with it's apparently the representation or the physical something of the souls of people on earth as they go through their ascension process. Then spoke a voice, mighty and solemn, saying, "These are lights that are souls among men, growing and fading, existing forever, changing yet living through death into life." And this implies reincarnation, that these souls get recycled into bodies or beings or newborn babies, or the way it is, and yet knowing. So it says, "These are lights that are souls among men, growing and fading, existing forever, forever, changing yet living through death into life. When they have bloomed into flower, reach the zenith of growth in their life, swiftly then send I my veil of darkness, shrouding and changing to new forms of life, steadily upwards through the ages, growing, expanding into greater flame, lighting the darkness with greater power, quenched yet unquenched by the veil of the night. So grows the soul of man, ever upwards, quenched but unquenched by the darkness of the night. I, death, come, and yet I remain not, for life eternally exists in me all. Only an obstacle I in the pathway, quick to be conquered by the infinite light." This is what the Master of Darkness is saying. "Awaken, O flame that burns ever inwards, flame forth and conquer the veil of the night." So he's given this command for Thoth's soul to be released. Pardon me. Then in the midst of the flames and darkness grew there one that drove forth the night, flaming, expanding, ever brighter, until it was at last nothing but light. Then spoke my guide, the voice of the Master, "See your own soul as it grows in the light, free now forever from the Lord of the night." Forward he led me through the many great spaces filled with the mysteries of the children of light. These are the spaces that they blasted into the earth, chambers and hallways, and something rather mysterious and scientific and probably far beyond science. And it said, "Mysteries that man may never know, yet know until he too is a son of the light." And that means we will know when you attain a level of being a son of the light, a level of understanding and ascension, and I'm sure morality is definitely linked in there somehow. And then it describes his journey back from his experience. "Backward then he led me into the light of the hall of the light. Knelt I then before the great masters, Lord of all the cycles from above." There are 7 masters from the cycles above. "Spoke he then with the words of great power, saying, Thou hast been made free of the halls of Amenti. Choose thy work among the children of men." Now what's happened is he's gone out and been granted eternal life, and he has to commit himself to a servitude as some sort of teacher, or play some role in a greater purpose. And he's been offered to pick his own choice, profession, path, whatever you'd like to call it. And then Thoth said, "O great Master, let me be a teacher of men, leading them onward and upward until they too are lights among men, freed from the veil of the night that surrounds them, flaming with light that shall shine among men." Spoke to me then the voice, "Go as ye will, so be it decreed. Master are ye of your destiny, free to take or reject at will. Take ye the power, take ye the wisdom, shine as a light among the children of men." Upward then led me the dweller, dwelt I among the children of men, teaching and showing some of my wisdom, son of the light, a fire among men. And here you have the stories of our wonderful, fantastic sons of gods that came down from heaven and taught us all the things we know and maybe have forgotten. Now again I tread the path downward, seeking the light in the darkness of night. Hold ye and keep ye, preserve my record, guide shall it be to the children of men.